Let's begin the broadcast with this big breaking news coming in. UK MP has now written to the Home Secretary highlighting increase in hate attacks on the Hindu community, and also in fact has recommended measures that need to be put in place to increase the security of the Hindus and their places of worship. The British MP Bob has called the attacks on Hindus. Polling says these are targeted attacks on the Hindus by Islamist extremists. Let's first listen to his reaction.
And I join with my right honourable friend, the member for Chipping Barnet, in condemning the violent attacks made on Hindu temples in Leicester and Smethwick only just last night. But next week, the Hindu festival of Navratri begins, and on the 24th of October, we will celebrate Diwali, and the following day, Hindu New Year. The Hindu community in this country are seriously concerned about their safety in going about their celebrations. So could my right honourable friend arrange for an urgent statement to be made by the new Home Secretary on what arrangements are going to be made to make sure that our Hindu friends and neighbours are able to celebrate their religion in peace and harmony as they've always done.
We have Meghna and Madhav joining us in the broadcast. Let's first go across to Meghna for details of the letter. Finally, the authorities are taking note of the increased attacks and have named the elements, called them Islamists, who are targeting the Hindu community. Meghna.
In fact, Times Now's reportage, Times Now's continuous campaign against Hindu phobia has been now vindicated. It's even echoing in the Parliament. What you just heard was Bob Blackwell. He is an MP, a member of Parliament of United Kingdom, and he has written this letter that we are going to get you the details of. This is the letter which he's written in his capacity as a part of the all-party parliamentary panel for Hindus, and I'm going to show you and highlight some of the parts about this. It says that it is in my capacity that I'm writing to draw your attention against the appalling attacks on Hindus in Leicester, in Birmingham and elsewhere. These targeted attacks, now watch these words, these targeted attacks were by Islamist extremists and have understandably generated vast amount of fear, of harm, of disruption as well in the wider Hindu community across the UK. So very clearly he calls this an Islamist attack and says that Hindus were facing targeted attacks, just as Times Now has been telling you. Unfortunately, he says this is not an isolated incident, as the hate crime continues to grow while the Hindu community remains with inadequate protection from such radical actions. In fact, he goes on to say on this occasion many properties were damaged and people, including women and children, were wounded as well. Two of the Hindu victims being attacked with knives, their temples were attacked as well, and criminal damage has been done. Many of these arrests have subsequently been made as well. Navratri begins next week and lasts for 10 days. Diwali occurs on the 24th of October, with the new Hindu New Year. These are the key festivals for the Hindus and a serious threat to the security. The safety of those celebrating raises serious concern. In your role as the Home Secretary, I urge you to consider the following, and then he gives details of what is expected. Now this is very significant because it is someone from the Parliament itself who has said that it's important that we look into what is happening, the attacks which have happened in hate crimes in UK. In fact, he says what must be done immediately is expansion of the security. Now security has been one of the big problems. That security to protect the British Hindu community must be increased through presence of the police in densely populated areas. I'm confident that the local Hindu organizations would be happy to liaise on regarding it. He also talks about the provision of security and police at Hindu temples. Now this is significant. Not just Hindus are under attack, but symbols of Hinduism also under attack. Also he says, I encourage ministers to provide urgent reassurances. This is a 3-point agenda that a British parliamentarian himself, Bob Blackwell, has said must be done immediately to secure Hindus against the wave of Hindu phobia that seems to have gripped United Kingdom cities.
Absolutely.